I'm recording this on Friday the 30th of October. It is due to go online by the 2nd of November, All Souls Day. But I'm hoping by that time that this recording will be out of date. Since the evening of October 11, the thoughts and concerns of all Columbans have been with Fr Michael Sinnott, who is a 79-year-old man who 4 years ago had a bypass operation and who needs daily medication. On the evening of October 11, a Sunday, he was walking up and down within the grounds of the Columban house in Pagadian, along a footpath that maybe is 20 metres long between the house and the gate, taking his daily exercise after his supper. And when the staff were about to lock the gate for the night, a group of armed men broke in, bundled Fr Sinnott into the back of a van, took him down to the sea, burned the van, and then took him away somewhere in a speedboat. And we have not seen him since, nor have we any direct word of his whereabouts. But as I speak now, I am hopeful and praying that within the next couple of days, Fr Michael will be back with us and that he will be in good health despite almost 3 weeks of captivity, probably in very primitive circumstances. Fr Sinnott is another reminder to us Columbans of what a missionary is called to be, a follower of Jesus Christ, sometimes literally carrying the cross. And I'm sure the last thing on Fr Sinnott's mind on the evening of Sunday, October 11, was that he would be abducted, that he would be headline news around the world, especially in the Philippines and in Ireland, the following day, and that people all over the world would be praying for him. I have known him since 1966, when he was assigned to our seminary in Ireland after spending 9 years in Mindanao. And I still remember vividly the very first words he spoke in his very first class in September of 1966. I wish I were back in the Philippines. And he got his wish 10 years later when he was reassigned to Mindanao, and he has been there ever since, except for some years in Manila when he was our Vice Director for the region of the Philippines. In 1998, Fr Michael started Hango Kabataan, a foundation, the name of which means reaching out to or embracing the children. And it is a school for children with disabilities. Some, for example, are autistic, some are deaf, some have learning disabilities, some have physical disabilities. And many of those, maybe most of them, would never have had a chance to go to school. But he has given them and their families, most of whom are poor, the opportunity for the children to get a good start in life, despite whatever disabilities they happen to have. And the school is open to people of every faith. The majority happen to be Catholics, but there are Christians of other denominations, and there are Muslim students there. And since the abduction of Fr Michael, there have been 2 rallies held in Pagadian, interfaith rallies at which Muslims and Christian leaders spoke, and at one of which a girl who lost her legs when she was an infant, or when she was very young, spoke. Her name is Karina. She spoke of how Fr Sinnott had given her the opportunity to have a proper education and to get legs, and to get new legs as she grew up. The deaf students of Kabataan, of Hango Kabataan, have shown at one of the rallies they have expressed themselves as a kind of a choral sign language group. And it is the hope of all Columbans that very soon Fr Michael, or Fr Mick as we call him, will be back home with us safe. But I've said to a number of my friends, if the kidnappers wanted to find the Columban of deepest faith and strongest faith in the Philippines, they have found him in Father Michael Sinnott. A man with great faith who spends much time in prayer before the Blessed Sacrament each day. A man of great commitment to those who have nothing. A man with a deep sense of justice. Not the soapbox type of worker for justice, but one whose actions proclaim justice. And by founding Hanguk Kabataan and enabling children with nothing to have an education, Father Michael is proclaiming that justice, as Pope Paul VI said, is an integral part of the gospel. The good news for the children of Hanguk Kabataan is that they can learn to read, they can learn to write, they can learn to communicate, they can learn to walk, and they know that they are loved. They know through Father Sinnott and his staff that God loves them. And I pray that I will very soon have to make another recording, make another version of Pulong ng Editor to thank God for the safe release of Father Michael Sinnott. But meantime, in the name of all Columbans, I thank all of you who have been praying so ardently for his release. And I pray that, God willing, this December, it's either December 17 or December 19, when he will celebrate his 80th birthday, and on December 21 he will celebrate the 55th anniversary of his ordination to the priesthood. So I thank God for the example of Father Michael Sinnott, an outstanding Columban priest. And I pray that his story and his life will encourage many young men here in the Philippines and elsewhere to consider that perhaps God is calling them also to follow in the footsteps of Jesus Christ right to Calvary, as he has called Father Sinnott to do.